Okay, hello. So this is just something that I wanted to show that kind of had laying around here. Um, so a little while ago, I had gone through Outer Worlds for the first time, and had gone kind of an odd route. Obviously, most folks that played New Vegas, I'm pretty sure, went for all the speech options and everything else. In this case, it was mostly a case of just like I blitzed speech, then kind of found melee weapons to be fun. It was just like basically a talky and stabby guy, and then just kind of randomly allocated points just to see what would happen. And what resulted was this weird situation where somehow I got a pretty much perfect resolution to almost everything, and then the last level kind of, well, it broke in passiveness. The utter pacifism of everything that was going on just made it seem really goofy. So it just occurred to me that I could probably share this here as a little bit of a test to see how well the actual transfer from the PS4 goes here. Who knows? Maybe going forward, this will potentially be something to work with. So basically, the way that this one ends up wrapping up, depending on who you end up siding with and whatever else, you end up having to go to the bottom of the facility here to go find said person. And depending on what factions you have on your side, they're all supposed to show up and help you. It's supposed to be like a diet version of the dam fight from New Vegas. Where, yeah, just basically everyone's different sides suddenly show up at the very end. But yeah, basically what I've done on this part is more or less negotiate everybody down, so when everybody's suddenly showing up, giving all these, speeches of like, oh, we gotta go do the whole prison break thing, like, nobody asked them to be there. It just kind of seemed a little goofy, because, yeah, I think they say before this that they're throwing out a signal that everybody's going to be going and storming the place and whatever else. But yeah, no. None of these people, in this particular case, none of these people were asked to be here. They just sort of attacked for no reason and never even end up having to hit a single thing from start to finish, which ends up, looking a little goofy. So I was running around here with my laser spear situation, hoping to kind of poke away at something. I think it was like 8 or 9 months since I actually played this, so I couldn't exactly remember where to go. But basic idea behind this, if you're unfamiliar, is you just kind of run around from spot to spot. The little meter on the bottom is your camouflage there. As soon as it runs out, somebody comes up, asks what you're up to, why you look suspicious. You convince them everything's fine, and then you just kind of go right back to it. For whatever reason, the actual requirements for these checks are relatively low, and there's a bunch of different skills that can be used for them. So it's kind of just a gimme at that point. Like, the first one, you kind of can just wind up with those skills on total accident. The second one's a maybe. The third one is, I guess, a little less likely. Still, though, it's a cool system in theory. Truth be told, this first time through, I couldn't understand how on earth I ended up maxing out like half the friggin' stats, and it turns out it was almost entirely because of a weird function of how leadership works, where basically you get part of the skills from your companions and whatever else. If you end up specializing as a leader, which, again, was just kind of done at random. I completely forgot that was the thing I was doing. And yeah, the combination of these two with whatever was already there resulted in just kind of maxing out across the board. Apparently a few people ran into this particular thing. I think it's like a combination of a couple of other perks as well, where you get increased stat bonuses from your actual companions, as well as increasing their own stats to scale those up. Again, not super sure on all the background stuff. I just didn't realize how much a lot of that stuff works the first time through, and figured everything just had ridiculously easy skill checks. Anywho, though, yeah, so I suppose that more or less covers what there is to cover on this one, to be completely blunt. You basically just run through and repeatedly tell people to go away. That is an ending that you can get, but this part in particular cracked me up. So, the story behind these guys here is there's two different factions that were fighting over a planet, and you get there and you fix the whole thing. And, yeah, it's supposed to be a combination of both of them that show up to fight here, but again, no one even knows that I'm here right now. Like, you can just stealth your way through the entire thing. They're gonna start giving a speech and everything, and it's like, who are you fighting and why? No one asked you to be here. I love it, though. Like, oh, there we go. Oh, over there giving their speeches now. Just casually walking through. And, you know, giving people nice reviews. Because, of course.
Stellar base counting on us.
Gotta love that. All the nice little details and things like that.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more.
So more running, lots of hallways. You're supposed to be having this whole massive gunfight throughout all of this. Never actually did it that particular way. Like, even this guy just immediately gives up because all the stats are so high. Apparently somebody left a comment at this point because it was the only way I could record off the PS4 to the PC. Sorry about that. I have no idea what your comment said. Or even who that was, for that matter. Also, I don't know why the box was stuttering there.
But that's between us.
Yeah, this guy is the only guy that'll actually leave. So this was like recreating my first time through the whole thing. And yeah, Felix gets mad and leaves if you don't have both the leadership skills maxed out, which I think at this point was like 198.
You know, you're
so
a stronger
it
captain
was very slightly off. It's kind of a weird last-second punishment, to be completely honest. But, oh well, by that point it doesn't matter anymore anyway. Yeah, first time through I just reloaded and brought somebody else, because that kind of felt like BS. Guy gives his dorky speech. And yeah, again, who knows why? There's really no reason for anyone to be fighting here. Guys are just sitting on the bridge like, what the hell? Why is everybody attacking us? I don't even know what's going on right now. Over here running around with a fancy laser spear. Don't even get to stab anything. And yeah, you get like a bajillion different skill checks that you can potentially go through with this one. It's like, you basically have to talk the person down, you can also talk the boss down, you can sabotage the boss, all this kinds of different stuff. Will say, first time through, I just kind of mashed buttons and it kind of happened to work out.
You were always.
But yeah, no, you actually can just mess with stuff in the middle of the conversation.
This is another one of your. So, I have given the chairman.
And then she just leaves.
I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet.
Like, okay, I guess you talked real good. Bye.
Still operational.
That's just it.
My scientists assure me.
And then everything kind of works
I trust
out.
My own.
And that's the end, and everybody agrees to sort everything out.
We won't cross orbits
and you don't have to fight through that giant boss arena down there. It's a massive robot that they built for this occasion, and that's it, and you don't even have to look at it. But okay. I suppose that's all that's needed for commentary, really. Just thought this was kind of a fun thing. And, yeah, so if you want to see it, I'm curious if anyone would want to see some different runs of this one. Specifically, so there was a run somebody was doing a while ago, the YOLO runs.
You don't know how glad
that MATN does. So lately I've been doing a bunch of those, except with a different rule set to them, in which I kind of figured the whole allowing temperament as a attribute thing is kind of just fine. I mean, the thing's punishing enough on Supernova without anything, without really needing to be stuck at like 2 health the entire run. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure you're obligated to take hits a few times and just recover out of it. Like especially the first little cliff jump thing, you can't necessarily avoid that. I tried doing that with dodge and whatever else. I forget if there actually is a way. I'm pretty sure there must be at least something, but that's supposed to be your getting damage tutorial and stuff like that.
Our future is uncertain.
But yeah, in most cases you're just going down from a simple spray from any direction, so I personally think it's just fine, just banning the regular healing item. Anyway, that all said, I will say, never really appreciated this the first time around, but appreciate that they learned a lesson from New Vegas and didn't turn the volume up to 80 billion for the credits. That's nice. So, that's about that. Hope you all have a good one, and take care.
Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. The Hope scientists and the people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the years between MSI's worker-centric, consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took sublight salvage. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose. Adelaide under the leadership of Junlei The rediscovery of the Hope forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities. Your influence shifted. There are no official records of Felix Millstone leaving the labyrinth. As much as he enjoyed his adventures, he knew Parvati didn't survive her adventure with you. Nyoka returned to Monarch. The SAM unit that Minister Clark was it was widely suspected. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the change. As for Dr. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able. Dr. Wells. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony. But today, Halcyon has... And what you brought a